What's up, guys? Welcome back to Is What It Is. If you're new here, this is a show where I talk about random stuff, my life, past experiences. It's just me talking to the camera pretty much. No fancy techniques or anything like that. I'm still new. I'm getting used to it. I hope you join me. I sometimes do a video with my son, but lately we haven't been doing it, so I wanted to go back to Is What It Is. Because I want to help people. I don't know how. I want to get to know people, and the humanity behind those people. I'm interested in stuff like that. I clean pools, and I meet random people who all have different backgrounds, and it's just interesting to hear the humanity behind it, people like Martin Luther King or John F. Kennedy or Joe Rogan, or these. I just picked the random three, but these people inspire us. Pick anybody because of their story, because their story is so human. Like a somebody who gets in an accident and they work hard to get back to normal, and then next thing you know, they're better than they ever been because they didn't give up. That stuff kind of interests me, and I guess I want to try to help people not give up. I'm here for people. If people would want to ask random questions or need a random advice, I would love to do that. You could comment. I gotta get a call-in number or something, but I don't know. It's just I've always been like that, and I never knew what I wanted to do with my life. I just started working at a young age. I was 13. I started washing dishes because I wanted money, and I haven't stopped. But it's all been manual labor, and I never really thought of what I would want to be when I grew up. I never had anything that I could say, yeah, that's what I want to do. But I've always liked video. I've always liked, movies, home movies, like CKY and stuff like that. And just the idea of making your own videos, whether you're making a video of puppets, it's always interested me. But also, I've always been interested in people that are so-called motivational speakers, I guess. But people that just share their humanity, share that common thing that we all have, and they're just not afraid to express it. People like Martin Luther King, people like Malcolm X, people like Tupac, people like Joe Rogan. I'm just picking random people, but these people, they're not afraid of what people think. You're not gonna please everybody, and if you try to please everybody, you're not. And that's the thing. I also sometimes can't stand people because I'm a human. We're all human. We all have these feelings. I'm not claiming to be special because I feel this way. I just it's just what I want to do. I don't know why I feel the need to keep explaining, but I'm sure you guys get the hint. And since I never knew what I wanted to do, I'm kind of like, if something feels right, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pursue that. If it feels right, then it feels like I'm going in the right way. And I've wasted a lot of time doing that also, but there's little things that happen that makes me feel like everything was supposed to happen for a reason. And I'm not saying you're not in charge of your own destiny. You can't change anything, because I definitely believe there's multiple paths to the same destination. But I felt like I was always destined to try to do something like this, to try to help people, to try to talk to people. To try to get my word out there, or my thoughts, and I've had a bit of video block or writer's block, because I could think about all this stuff that I want to say to people, just to express my humanity. And when I try to record, I can't do it. Try to please everybody, and I feel like a tool up here, kind of on a stage trying to do something, and I'm not being 100% myself. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that could relate to that, not just on a video, just in person. And we all do it. We all, well, not we all, but people do it. They try to keep up with the Joneses, so they buy a bunch of stuff, even if they don't like it, because that's the cool thing to do. I've never been like that. Sure, I like nice things, but I don't need, the fancy stuff. And I have a lot of opinions on stuff like that, and I feel like people are quick to judge. I'm not quick to judge. If you like these things, if that's what you want to spend your money on, that's fine. I feel like there's more to life than materialistic stuff. But it's like whether you're working at a decent job and have a basic income, like a normal average income, and you're got the average car and average house, nothing fancy. You're living the same way as the person that has a better job, has a nicer house and a nicer car, because they got to pay all that off. At the end of the day, you guys are left with the same. And people aren't. The point is, I don't think people are as different as what people they would like us to think. The whatever you want to say, the media or whatever, they want to make us feel divided. And I feel like there's humanity inside people. That's why when we listen to these people that have these amazing stories, we love it. We get inspired. We feel warm inside. And at least I know I do. And I feel like that's what I wanted to do. I never really knew, but that's the only thing I've ever felt like a calling for, is to do something like that. I don't know, and to try to be myself, because I can be funny. I could crack jokes. I'm not full of myself. I'm not cocky. I know myself. So I believe in humanity, and I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but there is, those people, there is people out there that are just, living like robots or whatever, trying to be too cool, whatever it is. It's like, I don't have nothing against them, because I've always been pretty mellow, I guess. I've always had these feelings of wanting to do stuff more to help, but I've always been pretty, I guess, lazy about it. Been pretty non-proactive about it. And recently I've been recently I've been trying to get better with everything. And I believe the universe gives you signs. The other day I was listening to a podcast about this girl who was paralyzed and her arms were crippled, and she was told she never could walk again and she never could draw again because she wanted to be an artist. Well, one day she got tired of just sitting in the bed at the hospital, and she said, she told her brother, I believe, to go get her some painting stuff. She wants to paint. She's tired of looking at the white walls. So she did. Now she's, famous and a speaker, a motivational speaker. But really, she just shares that human side of her, that human experience that she had, where she triumphed over her greatest downfall. And she said that, failing, they say failure is an option, but it shouldn't be that. It should be giving up is an option. It's okay to fail, but it's not okay to not give up. And that's why we love stuff like that. And she was down in the hospital, and the point of the story is her mother, she was down, she was depressed, and her mother said to her one thing, this too shall pass. And that's gave her the strength, And every time she would say that, keep her going and stuff like that. And my point of the story is that the same day I was listening to it, I also posted a short that's like that, because I was listening to stuff all day, and at the end of the day, heard a quote from Steve Harvey that said, you know, your survival rate of your bad days is 100%. You survived 100% of your bad days. So I made a short saying, like, if you had a hard day, just remember what Steve Harvey said. You have survived 100% of your bad days. You know, you'll survive this one too. And somebody commented under it, this too shall pass. With some, I don't know, remember the whole quote, but that was in there. And it just kind of feels like a sign that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's my point of the story. And I believe, like, when you're on the right path, then you'll get signs like that. And I don't know if it means everything happens for a reason, or it's just signs that you're doing right, whether it's a simulation or what. I believe it, you know. And when I'm doing wrong stuff and I'm not taking care of my health and not sleeping and eating unhealthy, it just doesn't feel right. And if I'm not trying, if I'm not, you know, if I'm procrastinating, it feels bad. But yeah, that's enough of that. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about myself the whole time, at least in that aspect. I just wanted to get it out there, I guess. Even if I don't post this, I believe we all should, you know, really sit down and think about ourselves, because I feel like that people could easily get caught up in somebody else's dreams, somebody else's goals, what somebody else thinks they should do, you know, move too fast and get stuck doing something they don't want to do. You know, I wouldn't say I never got stuck doing something I didn't want to do, but I don't envy, I mean, I don't feel bad for the person that knew what they wanted and went and got it and lived happily ever after. That's fine also. I guess I was just saying. Sometimes I might lose my train of thought. But I got here a couple notes. I was watching, I'll start with Rocky. Rocky's one of the greatest movies. I was watching Rocky the other night. I listened to the Rocky quote, like every single day to try to motivate me. You know, when I'm feeling down, I'll listen to that Rocky quote from Rocky Balboa. You know, life isn't, let me tell you something you already know. Life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. But, man, Sylvester, you know, I also listened to something about Sylvester Stallone, and I guess he came to Hollywood and he was trying to find work. He couldn't find work, and he wrote that movie, you know, and became a hit, and, you know, he made it, and he was kind of, I guess, like that underdog, kind of like Rocky is, and it's just interesting if you go back and watch Rocky, but thinking about that aspect of how he couldn't find work, and, you know, in the movie Rocky, he's a fighter, but instead of fighting and taking it serious, he went to the streets and fell into that and started getting out of shape and becoming a bum, as Mickey would say. And it's about him coming, in my opinion, it's about him coming to a point of his life where he's like, is this it? You know, because I'm not happy with I should have tried, but he didn't have, you know, there's a point where he said, Mickey was like, why didn't you try? And he's like, you know, pretty much like, he was there, but you didn't pay attention to me, you know? But yeah, it's just interesting, because I bet there's a lot of Sylvester Stallone in that. Even if it's just the character, it's still a great story about, and that, I believe that happens all the time, where somebody that's a decent, you know, person gets caught up in, like, the streets or whatever, and, you know, before they know it's too late. Luckily, Rocky didn't miss his chance, and he got the chance of a lifetime, and it could happen. I mean, you can't give up, whether you're young or old. And you want to go get something, you gotta go get it. I believe people tell themselves, no, I can't do it. Too old, too shy, too ugly, whatever, too fat. But why let that stop you? I feel like the people that get what they want in life are the people that go for it, and they work hard, and they don't stop until they get it. And man, could I go on a rant? But yeah, I mean, Sylvester Stallone, he didn't stop. He wrote Rocky, and we all know the story of the rest of the story about Sylvester Stallone. But yeah, awesome movie, one of my all-time favorites. I could watch it all the time. The next comment is the fair. We just went to the fair, and talk about nostalgic. We got a county fair that comes around, and it's really nostalgic. Me and my family, we used to go every year to the fair. There's music going by. I live right next to a main road. Not the fair though. No, I was just at the fair and just thinking about, like we used to get to the fair, and my brother was in middle school. I was a little younger, still in like elementary school, and he would, as soon as we get there, he would run off and just take off for the whole night, like just disappear. Like we'd be walking and people were like, James, oh shoot, he's already gone, and he was going to hang out with his friends, and I saw that the other day. It was, there's like all different types of people, but a lot of it is young adults, middle schoolers, high schoolers, and we all could. I'm sure we all could remember going to the fair. I hope you went to the fair. If you didn't go to the fair, I feel bad for you. You should go to a fair. But the first ride we rode was that Fireball, and I'm not a big ride person anymore. Sometimes I get a headache. I used to ride all the rides, but me and my son went on the Fireball, and that was a bad choice. That's a ride where you go like completely in a circle, so you're upside down. You go back and forth until you get upside down, and about upside down is where I realized, I'm just on the mercy of these bars holding me down. If these bars were to open, that would be it. And I hate to be graphic, but I was right across my seat was right across from my son's, and he was having a good time going back and forth until we got about the part where you get upside down, and I just saw his face like turn from being happy to serious, and then I started worrying. But I was like, I gotta have a grin on my face, because I can't let him know that I'm worried too, that I'm scared. Overall, it was all right, but it's just kind of like the commotion of it, the motion of it, and hanging upside down. When you're a kid, you could take all that, but nowadays I don't like that type of stuff. I don't know. Gives me a headache. But we went on a few rides and stuff, but this nostalgic of the place, you could go and buy. My grandma used to get these turkey legs, these big turkey legs, and she would eat them every year. And you could get funnel cake, cotton candy, all types of stuff. Nowadays, because of inflation and stuff, all of it's way too expensive. But they have these fries where you could spray like malt vinegar on them. Some of the best fries I've ever had. It's like this place. There used to be this place next to, or it was like a game center, and they would sell these fries that had this cheese sauce, and those were the best fries I've ever had. Probably was terrible for you, but it was delicious. And I bring up that because it was like it was like an arcade, a bunch of old arcade games, and we played Yu-Gi-Oh in there back when we had Yu-Gi-Oh competitions, and right next door, this little carnival would come to town, and they had a few rides, and we knew this me and my brothers knew this older kid, Matt, who was just when we found him, I guess, at the Yu-Gi-Oh competition. He was sleeping. Him and his dad had a 1-bedroom apartment, and he was 17 years old, and he was sleeping on the floor, and that's where he lived. And me and my family adopted him. My grandma took him in, and he came to live with us because his dad was mean. But this kid was a character. He used to wear like 7 pairs of pants to 7 pair of pants to bed and stuff. And I think he wet the bed, and when he would like wet the bed, he would just take a pair off, and he slept in our, we had a shed, and he made a room out of it. Or not a shed, it was like an old barn, and he made a room out of it. I had electricity and stuff like that. I helped him clean it out, but it was much better than what he was living in. And he stayed with us for a while, and then stuff happens, and whatever, he went his separate ways. But he was a character. The reason why I bring him up in the arcade and the carnival is because one time we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and he comes running in with these 2 big bags of trash, and we're like, what the heck? And they were filled with a bunch of cotton candy, because when the carnival's like over and they have all this leftover cotton candy, they throw it out. So it was like nothing but cotton candy in there, still like sanitized. That I guess he talked to the carnies, and they gave him 2 big bags of cotton candy. So free trash candy. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. It was something I remember. But yeah, that's about all I had to talk about that. Pretty much just explaining my life. Some of the reason why I'm doing this, because you never know, and I want to put my stories out there, even if I can't remember them all at once. And I don't think you should share them all at once, but maybe if I put my stories out there, somebody else might want to talk about their stories, comment, their stories. I gotta get a call in. Got lots of random stories, fun stories. Everybody has their stories. I mean, I'm just interested in people that are nice and aren't douchebags. But yeah, if you enjoy me doing this, comment down below, subscribe. I'll keep rambling on. My fiance might join me. It's gonna take time to get used to the camera. It's hard to just talk to a camera. I'm just using my phone. Got a good little microphone. But nowadays that's all you need. Those are things I kept telling myself, like I can't do it, and that's not true. You can do anything you want, and if I told myself I can't do it, then I'm allowing myself to be like I'm giving up, and it's not okay to give up. What kind of example would I be to my son? These are things I'm thinking about as I grow, and I'm not a perfect person. I'm not some kind of guru. I'm just myself, and just a human being, a regular human being. If you guys want to comment below, if you got anything to ask, I'm here. You guys know what to do. Like and subscribe. And I'm going to end it. Y'all have a great night, great day. Whenever you're listening to this, I hope you have a great day. And take care. Be easy.